Every moment has stakes. Not steaks, stakes. So what do I mean? There's a tremendous cost to inaction, living without a plan, without vision, without a compelling picture of the future. There was a time in my life when suddenly I found myself $6,000 in debt. Now remember, I hate debt. I already had a full-time job, but it wasn't enough. I thought I'd be able to make enough from a business and my job, but it still wasn't cutting it. And I had to admit that my business just wasn't profitable. However, I did have another option: support raising. I could take my story, refine it, and share it with everyone that I could. And if I could do this with 5 to 10 people per week and average between $5 to $100 per person per month over the next 11 months, it could work. Now I know what you're thinking. This is easy for you, Daniel. This was easy for Daniel. He loves people and is good at this stuff. But that's where you'd be wrong. See, at the time, I didn't have a plan. I shared my story with someone that I thought would be able to help in a big way. And she said yes to the meeting. And I thought she might really be able to help me put a dent into my debt if she chose to support what I was doing. And these were her exact words to me. You came up here with no plan? Now, she didn't choose to invest in what I was doing in Sacramento, and this was a gut-wrenching moment. She was someone with means and connections, and her no, along with her "how could you be so stupid as to not have a plan" attitude, it hit me hard. And you might think I handle rejection super like it's no problem, but I went home and cried. However, I kept meeting with people, and I got so used to sharing what I was doing that in less than 10 minutes, I could share my whole story. And over the next 3 months, I met with 60 to 100 people, and I ended up with 39 people supporting me every month for the next 11 months. That's the power of massive action. It destroys limitations. Lights, camera, action. Listen, capture, action. It's so simple. Simple isn't easy. You will not fail to act. For months, I've kept a poem as my lock screen to remind me of this truth. You are the man who used to boast that you'd achieve the uttermost someday. You merely wish to show, to demonstrate how much you know and prove the distance that you can go. Another year has passed through. What new ideas came to you? How many big things did you do? Time left 12 fresh months in your care. How many of them did you share with opportunity and dare? Again, when you so often missed, we do not find you on the list of makers good. Explain the fact. Ah no, 'twas not the chance you lacked. As usual, you failed to act. And that's Victory by Herbert Kaufman. Now let me be perfectly clear. I'm not angry. Let me be perfectly clear. I'm angry. Not at you, at your inaction. And if you're still watching this, here's the warning. This will feel a little different, harsher, a little more on the nose. Why? Because sometimes it takes anger channeled correctly to spark change. When the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, you will change. And I hope that this is that moment for you, because the world needs you at your best. Your lack of action will murder more dreams than failure ever could. And yes, I'm aiming this at myself too. There's a quote from my sister-in-law that I'll never forget, because for so many years, failure kept me from action. It says, "But I never wanted to be a mistake or be considered a maker of one. Perhaps that's why I've remained so quiet." Perhaps that's why I've always remained so quiet. Sarah Brewington Barnes. Action is required. Growth is required. Failure is required. Getting up is required. Trying new things is required. Deciding is required. Listening, capturing, and acting are required. Here's the problem. It's easier to be mad at everything around you than it is to be mad at your own inaction. Or is it? One of those things you can't control, the other you absolutely can. And one of those things will change your current reality. And one of the things that will change your current reality is the action that you're putting off. Applying action to your life. See, this is part 3 of the Listen, Capture, Action framework. And I'm channeling this energy on purpose. And this anger. I'm angry at the ways that we fail to see people around us. People who need the love that you're capable of giving. These moments matter. These aren't throwaway seconds. They're your life. If you remove these distractions and were truly present with the people around you, that's the first step. Now here's step 2, capture and create systematic thoughtfulness. And finally, step 3, it's act or action. Stop waiting. Action isn't just a word. It's how you show people they matter. I'm tired of seeing people feel insignificant. If you can push to remind the people in your life that they matter, then we're getting somewhere. That's why I'm using this tone, because I need to cut through the noise of everything else and shake you in your seat as you're watching this. People forget that they matter. Remind them. And lack of action murders more dreams than failure ever could. So take action today. Show someone that they matter. Use the FBI framework, feeling, behavior, impact. Send them a message and become a master of presence. I've got a newsletter and or a video in one of these places on that FBI framework. But take action toward your dreams in making someone around you feel special. And be someone who others say, if they can do it, so can I. And there's just, as I'm recording this, there's only 24 days left in the year. It may be a brand new year by the time you're watching this. But what's the one thing that you've been meaning to do? Make a plan and start. Whether it's January, it's December, it's October, or September, or July, where it is in the year doesn't matter. Starting is what matters. And if no one else has said this to you, I believe in you. You matter. Adios.